Yeah, TikTok, dude, TikTok is an amazing platform. Honestly, I've got a little bit of a gripe with TikTok. I still love the platform a lot, but I think my biggest issue with it is the way that they do the creator fund. Like YouTube really set an industry standard when YouTube, actually, you know what? Let me just try to give a little bit of like YouTube history here. So from my understanding, I think this is right. Shortly after YouTube was birthed, YouTube actually wasn't sharing any percentage of their revenue with creators. And what that forced was there was a lot of competition that started to rise up in like the late 2000s, where there was a lot of platforms that started to rise up and were offering creators to come over to their platform and saying, hey, we'll pay you a percentage of revenue if you come upload on here, right? And then that would just kind of leave YouTube to be like a cesspool of not really like creator content, but more like, you know, re-uploaded TV shows and movies. And that's kind of what it was in its earlier days. And YouTube, in order to prevent themselves from losing all their content creators or a big portion of the big guys, started up the YouTube Partner Program. Let me actually Google when that started. When? We're going to learn some history here. Started in December of 2007. So that's when YouTube made that change. Now, this obviously motivated a lot of creators to stay on YouTube because now they could earn a portion of revenue. And the way the YouTube Partner Program works is I think the split is YouTube actually gives more than 50% of the revenue donated from advertisements to creators. That, from a business standpoint, is amazing. I think it's a 55-45, or what would it be? It would be a 55-45 split, right? So 55% of the revenue that my channel generates in terms of advertising gets paid to me, and 45% goes to YouTube. That is a massive split for advertising revenue, right? That's a really generous amount of money. I think YouTube has paid out over the course of the last decade billions of dollars to creators. If you think about how like capitalistic businesses usually work, that's like unprecedented behavior, right? Like that's insane. Now let's contrast that with TikTok. When it comes to YouTube, you'll see an ad usually at the beginning of every single video that you watch, right? You'll get like a 5, 10, 15 second skippable ad. And then maybe throughout the video, you'll see like a 5-second skippable ad. Maybe there'll be banner ads that appear on top of the video, or maybe an ad on the side of the actual watch page if you're watching on desktop. So it makes sense why YouTube creators would make a lot more than TikTok creators, because it's easy to say that when you get 1,000 views on a YouTube video, the advertisements that appeared on that video were as a result of you driving eyeballs to your content, right? Whereas on TikTok, the advertising that appears isn't a result of necessarily your brand pull. It's just how the algorithm will swipe, right? Because you don't necessarily make choices to watch next, you just scroll through your For You page. So I think the data is like every 9 or 10 TikToks, you'll see an ad. You know, obviously it's not like a TikTok ad. That would be ridiculous. Nobody would ever watch that. So that's why fundamentally TikTok creators make a lot less, because there's just way more advertising opportunities for YouTube creators. And TikTok does what's called a creator fund, and a lot of other platforms do this. And basically they have a dedicated amount of money that gets split to all creators who are part of the creator fund, and they get a percentage based off of their views and whatever other metrics TikTok looks for. I think it's mostly watch time, if I had to guess, how much watch time your TikToks get. Maybe you'll get paid a little bit more. That seems like a good thing, right? Like, how big is the TikTok creator fund? The TikTok creator fund, launched in 2020, is $200 million. Wow, that's a lot of money. And that seems great. Here's the issue with that though. TikTok as a company is owned by ByteDance. So ByteDance is TikTok's parent company. In 2021, ByteDance generated $58 billion. That's amazing. Now, granted, not all of that is from TikTok because they do have other projects, I'm assuming, but a large portion of that does come from TikTok, I would imagine, given how hot and how many users are on the platform. So contrast that with YouTube. What YouTube does is YouTube gives a percentage of revenue, right? They give 55% of their revenue to creators. That results in billions of dollars. TikTok gives a flat fixed rate. So what this means is that this $200 million creator fund pool of money doesn't increase or decrease overall, but for individual creators, it gets less the more popular the platform is. For example, let's say there's only one creator on the platform and it's Charli D'Amelio. And she, for some reason in this theoretical scenario, gets 100% of all the views. That would mean that all the money gets given to Charli D'Amelio. All the views generated as part of this $200 million fund get given to Charli D'Amelio. As soon as another creator comes in, that revenue for Charli goes down by 50%, right? Because it has to get divided up among two creators now. and not just one. So you can see what starts to happen. The more popular TikTok gets, the more creators are on the platform, the less creators make because the fund has to be divided among more people. It's great in theory and the headline's awesome. $200 million is a lot of money. But when you compare that to what YouTube does where they give a percentage of revenue, monumentally greater. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars versus $200 million. That's a really, really big difference. I don't know if TikTok will ever switch over to a revenue percentage-based fund for creators, where creators earn a percentage of ByteDance's, or TikTok in this case's, overall revenue. That would be a little bit harder to do. It would be a big hit for TikTok's, overall yearly revenue. Right? Some higher ups and employees at TikTok might not get paid as much, but the platform would thrive so much more, I think, because creators would be making way more money and there would be more creators that would be motivated to post content on TikTok more than there already are because the revenue would be extremely competitive. Right now on TikTok, I'm going to be honest with you guys. So let me try to give you some metrics that actually make sense. I currently have gotten 3 million likes on my TikTok. There's no easy way for me to see how many total views I've gotten, but I've gotten 300 million likes and a decent amount of views, right? I don't know if I can see revenue on desktop. I might actually have to go onto my phone. I'm gonna allow you guys to guess. I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity to guess, I guess I should say. I'm looking at the total amount that I've made right now in my balance. I haven't withdrawn anything from my TikTok account. So look at all the videos that I've created, right? Mostly somewhere in the like mid-thousand range, right? But I've had some videos break out that go much more viral. This one got 200K, 190K, 17K, 328K, 185K. And like, I think really early on, I had some that did like super well. Like my TikTok used to do a lot better, almost 500,000 views. Take a guess how much money TikTok has paid me. TikTok has paid me keep in mind, this is over the lifetime of my TikTok. I uploaded my very first TikTok in 2019. So 2 years worth of work, $714 is exactly how much I've made off TikTok. Over the lifetime of my TikTok, we're talking millions of views. Now that's still a decent amount of money. When you think about it though, being stretched over the course of 2 years, it's not a whole lot. You know what I mean? Given, how much views is actually, like this got 1.5 million views. Just for contrast, we're assuming, let's say there's a 10-minute video on YouTube that got 1.5 million views. Even a 5-minute video, we're talking upwards of $1,000 for one video. That's a lot more money. We're talking about a fraction of that in total on TikTok. It's not that TikTok necessarily isn't giving great opportunities for creators, because they are. I don't want to come off like TikTok is a crappy platform. They're a great platform, and there's no doubt that their algorithm works very, very well. It's very good at delivering content to the people that want to see it. That's why there's so many users on the platform. That's why engagement is so high. That's why views are so great. There's no reason. The TikTok algorithm is amazing. What they're not necessarily great at right now is revenue share. It's hard because there's not really any direct competition with TikTok. There's Instagram Reels and there's YouTube Shorts, but both of those platforms also use creator funds, but they do tend to pay out, from my experience, a little bit more than TikTok. So what do we do? This is going to kind of wrap up my whole conversation about this. There would have to be enough creators on the platform that make enough noise and enough anger, top tier creators that, there'd have to be enough collective noise where people would have to say, TikTok, we want you to change up your revenue share a little bit to give creators a better percentage of the money that you're making. And whether that's just an increase in the creator fund or maybe a switch to a revenue percentage share of TikTok's overall revenue, I don't know. That would be up for them to decide. But I think in order for TikTok to remain competitive, they're going to have to do that. They've been great at innovating. They've been great at making improvements to their platform and adding new features and listening to community feedback. They have really been great at that, but I don't think there's enough people complaining about the revenue on TikTok as there should be. I think, fundamentally speaking, people should be paid more on TikTok. That is my thoughts on TikTok. Again, amazing platform. It's blown up so many creators. It's allowed people to, grow their TikTok that then grows their other platforms, whether that's a Twitch or a YouTube or an Instagram or whatever. I think there's room for improvement, and I think the revenue share is a big area. They won't make it unless there's enough of a push for it, right? If people are kind of complacent, then TikTok will just keep taking their money. But if there's more of a push, I think in the long term, it'll benefit TikTok and the creator economy as a whole. So if you guys watch this on my Henis Highlights channel, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll look forward to hearing what you guys have to say.